Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika, and here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft-related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today, I want to talk a little bit about how to make your home more magical. This is something I actually really enjoy talking about, and as always, I like to take very, easy, for lack of better words, practical approaches, something that anybody can do, whether you have very minimal things in your home, as far as supplies or for spells, things like that. But yeah, that's the approach I'd like to take to just keep it simple. So how to make your home more magical? Well, I'm gonna just give a little bit about my experience, and hopefully you can learn from that and a couple more suggestions. The first thing that you want to do is hopefully, if you're going into a new home situation, go ahead and do a cleanse of your home. The simplest way to do a cleanse is, for most people, just sage the house. That's the simplest. So you can use Palo Santo as well, or any other special herbs that you have. If you only have an incense stick, you can use that, and just, depending on what it is, of course, but the goal is to, give cleansing properties amongst the house, metaphysically speaking, using the incense. And you want to, say something. You might want to maybe repeat a phrasing, something along like, you could just keep it simple, say, my home is protected, we are safe, I am safe, my home is protected, I am safe. It could be something as simple as that. It doesn't have to rhyme. You just repeatedly speak it as you travel throughout the home and over in the corners in the house, from all the corners of the home. And you just go around aiming. With me, I aim high and low. So that's a simple way of just cleansing and clearing out the space, right? And open the windows. Forgot to mention that, open the windows. Fun fact, I didn't always open windows when I would do this, like a general cleanse. I completely forgot. And the place would be filled with smoke, and yeah. So I guess all the spirits I didn't want and energies I didn't want, they were just bouncing off the walls, right? Because I never opened the windows. We survived. So if you can't open the windows, don't fret. I look at it like this: at some point, you left the building, you left the home, so you opened the door, and that's when you let the outside air in, and the inside air came out. So worst case scenario, you might have to do that. That's okay. The other thing is, outside of cleansing, by the way, this is something you can do periodically, not just when you move into a new home. I would suggest you do this periodically. That's how you make your home more magical. Now, if you are someone who is like myself and you want to invite in certain spirits, certain types of energies, you're wanting to attract them, then that's when we're going to talk a little bit. So fairies, for instance, which is a big umbrella term because there's different things under fairies. But just for this video, we'll just say fairies. If you want to invite the fae into your home or around your home, you'll find there's ways to leave certain things, offerings, food, edible food offerings. You would leave that at a designated place. Most people buy trees, things like that. I know there's an old Irish folk tale about leaving milk or something, I think it's milk, out on a windowsill or something like that. So whatever it is that you feel comfortable with, and depending if you can leave things like that out, that's something you can do. Make offerings. Sometimes it's just something shiny. It's not necessarily food. It might be something shiny. It might be coins, money, things like that you leave in a space, that is designated for the spirit to come to be in or around your home. The other thing is, people use, I know I've been hearing about this because I've been learning a little bit more about how Palo Santo works, and from my understanding, sage is more of a clearing out, and Palo Santo is kind of making it so that entity spirits can come in. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments, but that's what I was understanding it to be. Or it's dual purpose. It could also be used for protection as well. Palo Santo, that is. That's what I read, that's what I heard. Anyway, but yeah. The other thing that you can do, besides leaving offerings of whatever it is that you choose for the offerings to be, is you can actually, perform a ritual inviting in, whatever or whoever you would like to invite in. Now, I guess this is the part I'm supposed to say, oh, be careful and do all that. Do you live your life? If you feel like you're inviting, if you're shaky and scary, you probably wouldn't be doing this anyway. So I don't think it's even necessary to say, because if you're scary, you don't need to be sitting around inviting any spirits into your home because you're too afraid. So if you're following something like this, you're not afraid. So do what you want to do. You hopefully already have protection barriers on your home, which I'm getting to next. Protection barriers on your home and yourself, in your spirit, so you don't put yourself in harm's way. But that's another way to do that. And why I say this makes it magical is because now, you have the Fae and you have spirits. You might be welcoming in a specific deity, a house spirit, whatever, to be in your home, and to sort of take residence along with you. Some people do that. The other way that I would say to make the home magical is to just do magic in your home. Do magic in your home on a regular basis. Perform spells, that energy that you're raising for your magical workings or whatever it is, even if you're doing like, more law of attraction, goal setting type stuff, to creating vision boards and meditation and things like that, you're doing visualization, everything from that to, you're doing a candle spell to, you're cleansing, the house, metaphysically speaking. You're building energy. Your home is not only becoming sacred, it's becoming magical for sure. It's definitely becoming more magical. That magical energy is in a home. I always think about this because I've moved around a lot. And the more I've practiced, I wonder if people felt that energy or felt some residual energy that was left after my magical tools and all the things that I have. Once we remove them from the homes of myself, was the energy still there? I would imagine it is. You walk into that's why we cleanse new homes, because you want to rid yourself of past energy, good or bad. You want to, kind of a clean slate for your own. Sometimes, if you're lucky enough, and I say lucky because I don't think it's a bad thing, to be in a position where you get to live in a space that is, I guess what people would say was haunted, or there's clearly other spirits living amongst the home. I don't believe those ghost reality shows. I don't think all ghosts are out to cause harm, and I don't even want to get into that. But the point is, if it's possible, and depending on why they chose to stay, if you can even get to the bottom of why they chose to stay in this realm, or if they have a choice, and I would be wanting to communicate with them. I would be wanting to be engaged with them and coexist, as opposed to seeing them as something that needs to be removed. Even if there was behavior that I felt was meant to scare me or deter me, maybe they have a protective nature because they feel like the home is still theirs. Anyway, I would want to know more. That's just me. Maybe it's my imagination, reading too many mystery novels and paranormal mysteries. But I would want to know more, and I consider that a lucky thing if you had the option or the opportunity to live in a space like that. So that's just me. Anyway. But that would definitely be a magical home, right? The other thing I would just say, as far as just besides, really the main thing is just do magic in your house, and by default it becomes more magical, is look at your house, decorate your house in a way that is magical. The little, what they call fairy lights, find this place to put that. Lighting matters. Candles. Oh my God. First of all, if you're probably practicing any type of witchcraft, you probably got a bunch of candles. Most of us do. That's just how we all roll. Make sure you have decorative candle holders, things that represent your magical life to you, whatever that is, because it won't be the same for everybody. Place artwork that resonates with you. It doesn't have to be overtly witchy, but it resonates with you, maybe even just, we'll say, spiritually. That matters. Art in general around your home, sculptures, statues, things like that, little, figurines, whatever it is that you want to have that represent maybe goddess or some, goddess energy or something like that. Those are great things too. Visually seeing things in your home, and the scents, it's making your house smell a certain way. The incense that you burn, the sage, the whatever. Those fragrance, that fragrance in the air can, even though let me rephrase that. Scent can have effects where it like triggers memories. It triggers certain things, right? A response from you. So if you have your house smelling a certain way with certain incense, then it can trigger, your home is ripe for magic. It's magical in itself. The only other thing that I would just say is don't neglect the outside of your house. Now, once you kind of got the inside a little bit more magical, right? Or you feel it's magical, because it's more of a feeling. Do you feel it's a magical space? So once you walk in and you feel that this home is a magical space, work on your outside as well. Even if you just have a small porch or a patio, that way when you walk up to your home, or for just from the outside, you can feel that. So for me, that starts with protection. Do protection boards around your home on the outside. Yes, and the inside too, but as much as you can on the outside as well. Your doormat, make sure that's anointed with protection oils and whatever else, or just positive energy flowing through. That's what you're asking for. All goodwill, good intent to come through. Not so much what you don't want, but what you do want. You can spell your doormat to do that. Look, just ornaments, things like that, that you can hang outside. Like I said, if you have a porch or a patio, things that you can hang, and it can be purely decorative to everyone else, but to you, it's witchy. It evokes magic when you see it. Crystals, you might have crystals that you prefer to keep outside. It's when the light shines on it, it kind of creates a magical look, and which brings a magical feeling. So that's the kind of thing, depending on what the crystals are, you don't want to mess your stuff up. But anyway, you could do that as well. Or fountains, just water, the elements, using the actual elements. People have fire pits. That can become a magical space. It's just kind of how you look at it too, and what evokes magic. What makes you feel magical, right? That sort of thing. So these are the more practical approaches of just living in a magical home and making your home more magical. I personally, I've been living in this home now, almost a year. It hasn't been a full year yet. So we're still actually decorating the house and getting it together. Like all that empty space in back of me. I wanted to film this way, talk about this. You could see this space above my cabinets. I would like to fill that with, it's taken me a long time to figure out what I want, but ultimately, some tchotchkes, farmhouse style, because that's my deal, but things also that would invite certain kitchen spirits that I want to bring in. So I'll be doing that, and eventually I'm going to organize my counters more. I'm one of those people, I keep all my appliances on a counter, and I know a lot of people are not like that, but I kind of like a little bit of a chaos. They're all matching, and it all matches the everything else, so I don't know, I like it. And I feel like I got enough counter space to do it, and it kind of makes me feel happy, so I like that. My husband could care less, even though he cooks all the time. If I put him away, he wouldn't care. Excuse me, or if they were on a counter, he wouldn't care, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I say all that to say, that's something I'm still in a work in progress doing. I'm still making parts of my home more witchy, more magical. Even if you've already done it, maybe things change and you want to have a different look that evokes a different type of emotion. You're studying different magic. Maybe before you start off more eclectic, and now you know for a fact you're a green witch. So you're probably going to want to have some plants and flowers around the house, That's the other thing, having flowers in your house. I think that's super magical. Having life, greenery in your home, and growing something and tending to it, and having a garden in general, same thing. That to me, that's the epitome of sometimes magic, especially for me as someone who calls themselves a cottage witch. It kind of encompasses a lot of just nurturing, protecting, and just praying over it sometimes, just that they grow. The gods, praying to the gods for them to grow, you know. But yeah, those are my thoughts on having a magical home, keeping it simple. It's not even about, you know, buying or doing anything other than what feels good to you. And you can, you know, shop at the Dollar Tree and, you know, upcycle things that you find at the Dollar Tree to become more magical for your home. Don't forget consignment stores and, you know, secondhand stuff. Definitely do that. Now, if it is something that is overtly magical or witchy and it came from someone else, you might want to do a cleansing on that and invite different types of energy, you know, into that piece, whatever it is. Just saying. Just some suggestions. But anyway, hopefully this was helpful. And thanks for watching. Again, I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken. Please like this video if you've enjoyed it, and go ahead and subscribe if you don't mind. I'd really appreciate it because it's helping a lot. And again, if you've already subscribed, of course, I really appreciate it, and I thank you very much.